Hi guys, how are you? Annalise here. So the title of my thing today is the number one secret to better parenting. Okay, so the number one secret to better parenting is emotional intelligence, learning how to identify and manage your emotions. There are two types of parents in this world: emotional dismissive and emotional coaching. People who do parenting with emotional dismissive, they basically dismiss all of their children's feelings and they tell you it wasn't that bad, that never happened, move on now, get up, that didn't hurt. They're very action orientated, so you just do what they say and there is no negotiation or discussion. People who do emotional coaching, they help their children explore their emotions. They teach them how to manage them, how to sit with them, and how to just be really comfortable with their emotions and how they feel. They talk about them, and when there's a disagreement, they have a negotiation and a discussion around it. Studies have shown that people who do emotional coaching with their children, when there's a really huge event that happens, like a death or a divorce, if you have been emotionally coaching your children, they will come out relatively unscathed. So to teach your kids emotional intelligence when you haven't had this modeled to you, it can be quite difficult in the beginning, but your kids deserve this. So it's really something that's quite important when it comes to parenting. How to do it is you need to learn how to identify and manage your emotions. The second thing to do is you can know and you teach your children that it's okay to feel angry, overwhelmed, frustrated, but it's not okay to name call, lash out, and do hurtful things. Now, the only way that you're going to be able to teach your children this is if you do this yourself. If you manage your emotions when you're feeling frustrated and you don't lash out or yell and scream and name call, then your children are going to find it easier to learn this when they're being modeled this. If you tell your kids how to react but then you don't do it, you're not going to be able to teach them emotional intelligence. So it's really important that you yourself actually get this down packed before you expect your children to do it. When I was learning this, my one and only goal was to say nothing. Saying nothing is 1,000 times better than lashing out. And when you do mess up, it's just really important that you sit down with your kids and you apologize, you ask for their forgiveness, and you let them know you're going to try and do better. And if there's any way that you can make amendments towards them, that will actually set them up for success in the future. We want our kids to learn to apologize, but we have to be able to do it with them and to them. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is actually make an action plan. Before you get frustrated, I want you to sit down and write out how it is that you actually want to be able to deal with these things. You know, is it that you want to say nothing? Is it that you want to have a one-liner? I don't know. Mummy's feeling really frustrated right now. She just needs a moment to cool off. Write it down and practice it a couple of times when you are actually feeling calm. And then when you can start feeling that you're actually getting worked up, this is the perfect time to remember what you've written down in your goals. Now remember, we are changing habits of a lifetime here. That is really, really hard. Self-compassion and self-forgiveness is key. We don't want you to give up. We don't want you to feel shame and guilt if you mess up. You are trying, and that's 1,000 times better than the millions of parents who aren't. So forgive yourself, try and do better next time, and just continue this cycle until it gets easier. And I promise you, it gets easier. So what do you do when your children are actually abusive towards you? Well, you stay calm and you let them know that's actually really hurtful what you said. You know, they do need to know that there are consequences to what they say. And I'm not talking punishment. I'm talking they need to know that what they've said has been hurtful. And you don't need to take abuse from them, just like they should not ever have to take abuse from you or any other adult. or anyone for that matter. One of the best things about learning emotional intelligence and passing it on to your children is not only are you setting them up for success because they will know how to manage conflict, they will have better relationships, and they won't be drawn to people who are toxic and have no emotional intelligence. So the other thing that's really cool about this is that you're teaching your child it's possible to love unconditionally, and that when you mess up, you are able to apologize, make amends, and all of their mistakes are forgivable. So many people don't bother apologizing because they're not sure if what they've done is forgivable because they weren't taught that as children. So this way, you are teaching them that. And that's absolutely beautiful. That's what we want in our kids. We want them to be emotionally stable. And it's absolutely wonderful that you're trying to do that with yours. Anyway, that's me for today. Thanks. Bye.